Hello everyone, Dr. Mark here again, and today I want to recommend a diet for families with a French Bulldog that passes too much gas. As all owners of a French Bulldog already know, Frenchies are subject to a lot of health problems, and one of them involves numerous GI issues because of their unusual anatomy. As many have already found out, flatulence, excessive gas production and farting, is sometimes a big problem. You do not have to think about giving him away. Here are 8 tips you can do to reduce the intake of air and improve the GI system so that your Frenchie passes less gas. The first tip is just to increase the amount of time he is eating. Because of the Frenchie anatomy, these little dogs tend to swallow a lot of air when feeding. This is much worse when they gulp down their food, so the simplest method to reduce gas is to reduce the amount of air that is swallowed. There are many great products sold to encourage your dog to eat slower, or you can hand feed your dog the ingredients in his diet bit by bit and make sure he does not gulp down his food. Second is that you should give him his food more frequently. There is some evidence that dogs fed only once a day live longer, but in this case more frequent feedings may keep your dog healthier and help him consume less air when feeding. Number 3 is to use a raised feeder. I am not a big fan of raised feeders as they can cause bloat in dogs prone to that condition, but in this case it will help some dogs, although definitely not all. If you try the slow feeder and it does not help much, start feeding him off of the ground and see if you notice any differences to his gas production. Number 4 is to stop feeding table scraps. There are several table scraps that you can give a normal healthy dog, but in the case of Frenchies with excessive gas most of them should be avoided. Stability in ingredients is important in dogs that have a farting problem. If you enjoy feeding your dog table scraps, I suggest you use the diet outlined below and feed it by hand. The 5th tip is most important in many dogs, and that is to switch his diet. Many of the carbohydrate components of processed dog food like corn, brewer's rice, and wheat will cause excessive gas. The best method is to stop using those foods and provide a natural diet. The diet I suggest is outlined below, but if this is too much for you, please consider a minimally processed diet. The 6th tip is to give him probiotics instead or carbohydrate-laden treats. Another reason for gas production is the bacterial flora in the gut, the microbiome. There are several types of treats that replace the flora with a colony of Enterococcus faecium, which will reduce the gas production and lead to less farting. I give my own dogs lactobacillus and also give prebiotics to support their growth in the gut. Number 7 is to provide plenty of fresh water. Since your dog will be on a whole food fresh diet, he will be drinking less water, but you need to encourage him to drink as much as possible by providing a ceramic or stainless steel water fountain. There are some great options on Amazon, or you can look at your local pet store. The 8th and final tip is to give him medications or supplements. Hold off on this until you have tried the other things on this list. If this problem continues to be so serious, and your dog does not respond to a diet change and the other suggestions listed above, you can take him to your veterinarian for medications like yucca or zinc acetate. If your dog has been on a commercial dog food with high dietary fiber, the zinc in his food may have been unavailable because it was chelated, and that too may be the cause of excessive gas. Your vet may also suggest you switch to one of the ultra-processed dry dog foods that they sell. Read the label before handing over your money. Most of them contain potatoes, wheat gluten, brewer's rice, and corn, all on the list of foods that cause flatulence. This is not something that you have to do to reduce your dog's farting problem. Before I get into more of the details on how to make up a whole food diet, I want to ask you a favor. If you find this information on this video helpful, please give it a like. Despite the fact that this information can help a lot of people, if it does not get enough likes, the YouTube algorithm will decide that it is not useful and will not send it to dog owners who need it. Also, please take a minute and subscribe to my page if you want to learn more about dogs. You will find plenty of videos on choosing dogs, and I will post more videos on saving money on heartworm prevention, some home tips to take care of skin problems, and how to make affordable homemade dog food. If you have any ideas for videos you need to help your dog, just drop a comment and I will get on it as soon as possible. The natural diet I suggest to help your Frenchie fart less should includes about 10% calcium and phosphorus source like raw bones. This part of the diet must be raw bones, not cooked bones. If your dog does not like to chew much, or has dental issues that prevent him from chewing on bones, you can add bone meal or eggshells to his diet. Some Frenchies have throat issues too, so should not be given the bones, and the eggshells are a better alternative. About 50 to 65% meat. There are plenty of sources, but you can use any cheap cut as long as you provide adequate protein. A meat-based diet does not produce gas like the cheap carbohydrate fillers found in dry dog foods. Dogs have no need of carbs in the diet, and although they are added to make foods cheaper, your dog will do fine without them. About 10% organs. The organs are rich in vitamins, so you can give kidney, liver, and spleen. Eggs. Besides providing vitamins, an egg should be added to his diet at least a few times a week. This is a good protein source and will not encourage gas, so you can give them more often, every day, if they are not too expensive. Fish. You may have to give this only occasionally, but it should be added since this is one of the few good sources of omega-3 fatty acids. It is fine to just use canned sardines since they are a good fatty acid source and also provide calcium to your dog's diet. Fruits and vegetables. Some fruits and vegetables that are considered healthy in humans, like broccoli and cauliflower, will cause excessive gas production in dogs. The sugars in fruits can also cause farting. If you want to feed this type of food, limit the amount to no more than 5% of the diet, but if you notice your dog is farting more after giving one type, you should try something that does not cause problems. With dogs that have digestive issues like excessive gas, I prefer to stay away from milk and cheese. All you need to do is add all of the ingredients together and run them through a meat grinder until thoroughly mixed. A grinder is kind of expensive, but it should buy a good one and it will last you the dog's entire life. Even with a good grinder, this will probably need to go through 2 or 3 times to mix it enough. You can find more of my articles on homemade dog foods on pethelpful.com. The food you make up should be frozen in 1-day portions and then thawed each day. You can make up each container with about 2 to 3% of your dog's body weight and then give it in multiple feedings. Feeding a whole food diet does not have to be expensive, and there are many sources of inexpensive foods. If convenience is more important than the cost, however, there are also companies that sell high-quality minimally processed foods. They are freeze-dried, but some are frozen raw dog food diets. I was reading about one this morning that is an air-dried product that is then chopped up into bite-sized pieces. They contain fewer cheap fillers according to the label and are not as likely to promote farting as the ultra-processed foods. Thank you for watching. I am a veterinarian with over 40 years of experience with dogs and cats, exotics, poultry, and livestock of many types. If the information in this video was helpful, please give it a like so that it can reach more viewers, and if you know any other dog families that need to know this information, please share it. Be sure to subscribe too if you want more information on dog health issues. If you prefer to read this information, you can find my articles at pethelpful.com. If you have any health problems with your dog and need some information, please contact me at my Ask a Vet column at pethelpful.com or askavet@yourpetsathome.com.